welcome to the very first episode of the Calling the Real You podcast. I'm so thrilled to be here. I'm so grateful that you decided to join me. I'm Pamella Horton, creator of callingtherealYOU.com and your host of Calling the Real You podcast. To learn more about me, please feel free to visit my bio at the Sacred Stories website, which is where this podcast is being released from, the platform. Or you can visit me on Facebook, which is www.facebook.com/callingtherealYOU. And of course, again, callingtherealYOU.com. But for those of you who don't know me, I'm best known as the connector because I connect professionals with people and opportunities. And most importantly, I help people connect with their source so that they can consciously create success in all areas of their lives. Today, I'm going to share a few golden nuggets with you, 11 of them, on how to remain grounded and connected to the real you, the part of you that is your soul and that is always connected to your higher power, no matter what. The you that is a creator, the you that is grace, is compassion, is forgiveness, and is love. I especially want to share these golden nuggets of information on how to connect and remain grounded to you, or the real you that is, during the times that we're in, a time that appears to be of increased separation amongst race, religion, socioeconomic classes, time of breakdown and attack. Because when we are connected with God, with your creator, source, spirit, and please feel free to substitute the title that you prefer here. For me, personally, a title is a label, and the essence behind those labels means exactly the same thing in my humble opinion. But when we remain connected to that source, we disengage from the co-creation of perceived madness that is taking place now, and we begin to live according to and actually are able to receive our divine birthrights. A little bit of history about Calling the Real You. I gave birth to the blog back in May of 2011, and really because I wanted to inspire others to think about the relationship that they have with themselves and their limiting beliefs that frees them from moving forward in life, that frees them from experiencing how divine and great life is supposed to be experienced. I've helped thousands of people come to the realization that their frame of reference, their state of mind, has a direct impact on all of their relationships, their relationship with their body, their relationship with their family and friends, co-workers, colleagues, clients even, their relationship with their career, their relationship with their money, their business, the world overall. And I aspire to help people make conscious, mindful decisions to center themselves so that they can live simplified and abundant lives. So it is my intent during these sessions or episodes to uplift, encourage, and challenge each of you, to help you connect with your core being for more peace, more love, more opportunities, more money, more of the real you, because you and your unique gifts, whether you know what they are or not yet, are needed. They're needed now more than ever. So thank you. Thank you for gathering in the sacred space with me. Thank you for sharing your precious time, because it's an absolute pleasure for me and an honor to be of service, and I am supremely inspired that we are here together. Now let's get right to it. I'd like to begin with an intention. Please get comfortable. Settle in wherever you are. If you're driving, I invite you to come back and listen to this another time. But please become aware of your breathing. Don't necessarily try to change the rhythm, just be aware of it. And bring your attention to your body. At what touch points is your body making with the seat or the cushion or the chair or the bed or the floor that you're lying on or sitting in? Just be aware in this moment. I ask that we all be surrounded by the white light of protection, both individually and collectively. I ask only the Most High enter. I ask and give thanks that we all operate from our right mind, especially our leaders, judges, teachers, and even our enemies. I ask that the collective consciousness that is ego, pain, trauma, terror, scarcity, and fear melt away and give way to the collective consciousness that is light, love, peace, forgiveness, and compassion. I ask that all of our egos be swept aside, and I ask that we operate from the one consciousness that is love. May we all come together. May peace rise up. And may we all know just how precious each and every one of us are. I believe that over the course of our lifetime, if we are not rooted in a strong practice of faith, if we do not reinforce the connection between our soul, body, and the divine that is pure love and peace with God, and I'm not talking about the bearded man in the sky, I'm talking about the essence for which his name or the title stands for. For when we are truly connected, we are no longer susceptible to the influences of the mass collective consciousness and the garbage that it releases through the typical channels such as mainstream media, product commercials, and propaganda. We can begin to operate from our right mind, our soul, the real us, which serves us. Or we can choose to operate from our ego mind. That's what free will is. One begets peace and abundance, and one begets misery and lack. When we are not rooted in a strong practice of faith, when we are not connected with our divine nature, we begin to buy in and believe what we see and hear. We begin to act out in accordance to the collective conscious fear, dis-ease, and lack mentality. We begin to create habits from fear and separation versus love and togetherness. Do you know how you're operating? Do you know if you're operating from ego or if you're operating from your soul, the real you? Would you know? Here's a list that I'm going to share with you to maybe help you identify where you are, what your state of mind is throughout the day. If we're caught up in our negative self-mind chatter, self-talk, if we are worrying, living in the past or in the future, that's coming from ego. If we're operating from our heart, peace of mind, our right mind, that's operating from our soul. If we are concerned about our security and safety and not concerned about being creators and creating, then that's coming from ego. If we tend to be reactive versus responsive, that's ego. Responsiveness is coming from our soul, the real you. If we're operating in scarcity mindset, that's ego. Do you find yourself judging others, condemning others for what they're wearing or what they just said or how they're eating their meal? That's coming from ego. Do you withhold information purposefully and specifically? Are you hiding things? Whatever that is. Eating something that you're not supposed to be eating, meaning because your health is in jeopardy. That's operating from your ego. Do you feel and create separation? Are you in a do state of mind versus a be state of mind? That's ego. Do you criticize yourself and others consistently? Do you have resentment for yourself and others? This is ego. Do you blame? Do you have a victimhood? That comes from ego. Do you feel like you need to control every single thing versus feeling free and liberated? That's coming from your ego. Are you hurtful to yourself with the things that you say that then bleed out to hurtful things that you say to others, whether it's in your mind or verbally? That's coming from ego. Do you avoid and hide people and things? That's coming from ego. Your ego wants you to live in fear. Do you have a me, myself, and I point of view versus a we point of view? I'm going to share a short list of examples when we operate from our egoic habits, when we act out from not our right mind. and they're simple ones. Have you ever witnessed or done any of these yourself? Not hold open a door for someone, even if they're just a few steps away. Not express gratitude and appreciation for someone who actually does hold the door open for you. You walk in without any acknowledgement. Have you witnessed or have you ever walked in front of somebody directly in front of their path without saying, excuse me? Or better yet, have you witnessed somebody or have you yourself not be even aware that you just cut someone off, whether it's driving or walking? Have you witnessed people just leaving a public area, a common area for people to enjoy, like a buffet, a park, a beach, and they haven't picked up after themselves after they've just spent several hours there? Is this something that you do, figuring somebody else is going to pick up after you? Do we consume products that clearly are not good for our bodies? Do you repeat a behavior over and over again, even though you know that you're going to continue to get the same result? All examples of us not being in our right mind in that moment, because we're not in the present moment. We're living in the past or the future from our mind, from our egoic mind. If we were of our right mind and consistently acted from our soul versus our ego, would we really do any of the things or the examples that I just shared with you? Would we be rude? Would we be disrespectful to our own bodies, to the people that we love, when we snap at them and not pay attention, which is the best thing we could ever do, is pay attention? Would we treat our bodies so poorly? I don't think so if we operated from our mind more, if we were connected and it had a strong root base, home base with our source. I don't think so. When we awaken to the truth of the difference between ego and soul, we begin to fortify and strengthen that connection to source. The real you answers its calling. It awakens to your calling. You become to know exactly what your gifts and talents are so that you can share those. Because again, we need you. We need your special talent. When we operate from our right mind, we know that we are safe and abundant. There's no question. There's no room for interpretation here. We are at peace. We are supported, and life comes to us with grace and ease when we have that foundation, that strong connection. Emotional pain actually is eliminated because we're able to turn our burdens over to our source and expect our burdens to be released and feel that release. It's amazing. Our faith becomes renewed and we become liberated. We become free to create versus being imprisoned by our thoughts. So how do we connect and remain connected? What are some things that we can begin to do for ourselves? And here are those 11 nuggets that I mentioned earlier in the call. The first step is to know what it feels like to be connected. If you have no idea what it feels like, looks like, smells like, tastes like, hears like, what it's like to be connected with your source, your higher power, the real you, your core, your essence, how can you do it? So I invite you and I challenge you to, for one day, every single daily living skill that you have to do, whether that's brush your teeth, brush your hair, wash your body, wash your face, eat, flip the pages of a book, check your smartphone, do all of it with your non-dominant hand. This is going to paint a picture of just how much on autopilot you are. And it's going to allow you to understand just how disconnected you are. Think of an elite athlete when they're in the zone. That athlete is in absolute direct connection with their source. There is no outside. It's only in, and they're projecting what's coming from within. They're achieving their goal from within. And once you know what it feels like not to be connected, you can then begin create habits and rituals to become connected daily throughout the day. Number 2, disengage from mainstream channels. Literally, don't watch the news for a week. Unplug from everything. Unfollow people on your news feed in the social media who rant about negativity, who complain a lot, and who actually post things about the political climate. Get rid of it. Just unfollow. Not unfriend them, just unfollow them. Doesn't have to be forever if it doesn't feel right to you. Just give that a shot. Number 3, allow yourself to daydream. It is a form of meditation, right? Everything, actually, that'll be another podcast. let me just stay here and not digress. When you daydream, even if it's just for a moment, in fact, here's another challenge. Every day between now when you're listening to it and 7 days from this point, 1 minute, 60 seconds a day, just sit and stare at something, a spot on the wall, a flame, and daydream. 60 seconds a day. It's a start. You have to start somewhere. This will calm you down, allow you to become centered. And I was going to say earlier that we've been taught that daydreaming is bad for us. It's a sign of possibly ADHD. We can't remain focused. Reality is, when we daydream, we're more connected with our source and we're more grounded than ever. That's when we're downloaded information, and that's when we can begin to create versus worry. Number 4, set the intention before you close your eyes at night to go to sleep, and upon waking every morning. Ask to operate from your soul that day. Ask to do so. Number 5, build space in between each action that you do throughout the day. And do each action deliberately. If it's chore day and you're washing clothes and dishes and folding the clothes and dusting and vacuuming, do it with deliberation, and between each act, so to speak, build at least 30 seconds in between. Take a nice deep breath into your belly, expand it nice and fully. Take several breaths deeply and fully into your belly and hold it for 3 to 5 count. And then exhale with a nice, beautiful sigh, and then begin the next step, the next action. Number 6, scan your body for the posture you are holding and the facial expressions that you are making. Any given moment throughout any given day. Are your shoulders up to your earlobes? Are you frowning? Are you holding your breath? Where in your body is that breath being held? Where in your body is the tension being held? Once you notice that particular outcome, check in to see what thoughts you were thinking in that moment without judgment. Just check in and breathe into that experience. And breathe here is all in capital letters. Breathe into that experience. Breathe into that body part. Breathe into that facial expression and hold on just for a moment. Breathe into compassion. Breathe in that peace. And exhale anything that it is that you don't want. Number 7, ask how to be of service. Each day, ask throughout the day. If you're lost, if you don't know what to do, if you are on autopilot and you just caught the fact that you were, ask how you can be of service. And just wait. It will come to you. You will be guided. The trick is you need to be disciplined enough to actually follow through on that guidance. Number 8. I actually said this a little bit earlier with number 6 in terms of scanning your body, but we're going to do it actually right here. Let's do this exercise right here, guys and gals. Breathe deeply in. Breathe in through your nose and feel it going down deep into your belly, and expand your belly out far and wide, and then allow your lungs to fill with air. Do this another time. And exhale. One more time now. Breathe in nice and fully. Extend your belly. Extend your lungs. Feel that process and hold your breath. Hold, 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 and exhale with a sigh. Don't be shy. Do this. It works. Number 9, make your first thought of the day one of gratitude. Before you leave your bed, don't reach for your phone. Instead, make a commitment to yourself, not as a body, not as your mind or your thoughts, but as the soul that you are, that is using your physical form to experience life. Conjure up the kindness that you and those in your world deserve by deeply feeling the appreciation of the things you normally take for granted, like your bed, like your pillow and the covers that you have, the fact that you have pajamas, the fact that you may have that glass of water on the side of your bed to drink, the fact that you're able to be cognitive and formulate words and speak, the fact that you can feel gratitude. Feel it with every fiber and every soul that you are. Every cell that you are. Number 10, smile out of a negative mindset. If you are caught up in the past or the future, you tend to be worrying. You tend to be reliving a story. That's not necessarily a happy one. And when you catch yourself doing that, because it happened again, you can be kind to yourself and not berate yourself for doing it, but be kind and simply smile a knowing smile into that space, into that image, and just be okay with it. It is okay. It's not fatal. You're doing all right. It just happened again is all. Your awareness will allow you to come out of that habit, and the smiling into it will actually help you train yourself into a different habit. Smile your way into a new one. And number 11, this might be one of the most important ones actually. Tap into some fun. We are so caught up in the daily grind that wears on us. We feel stressed out about the responsibilities and commitments that we make because we don't know how to say no. We don't have boundaries typically. And it is at this time where unplugging from the world is literally means to shut off your computer and your phone and tap into some fun. So stay with me here for a minute. When you are stressed, you are not working at your optimum level. You are stagnant in the I have so much to do mode. And to help banish that stress, tap into a few minutes of doing something that you would normally have done as a child that you loved. Set a timer between 10 and 15 minutes a day and just doodle. Just draw, play solitaire, go for a walk, and try not to step on any of the cracks on the sidewalk. Look at the details of a flower petal. Color in a coloring book. Those are super popular now, the mandala coloring books, etc. Anything that you used to love doing when you were a child, if it's swinging on a swing, if it's making mud pies, again, I'm not kidding. Go and do that. If it's playing freeze tag, gather some colleagues and go play some freeze tag outside. Do it discreetly within the office so you don't get into trouble. Anything childlike and fun, do it. This will help you grow your capacity for curiosity and creativity, which are natural direct channels to your source. As you develop a practice, right, it's no different. I want you to think of you developing your practice of connecting with your higher power on a regular basis for peace, for more of everything that you're desiring, right? I want you to look at it as if you're a new puppy or a baby even. A puppy, when it's your house training, you place it on the papers that they have now that you can buy, or you bring them outside or her outside, and they know, they begin, especially after they pedal on the floor or go to the bathroom on the floor. You after they do that, you pick them up and you bring them outside to show them that that's where they go to the bathroom. You don't get angry with them. You don't beat them up. You don't yell nasty things at them. A baby who goes to the bathroom, who might miss the potty and, who's potty training, you don't yell at them. You don't berate them. You don't make them feel terrible about not being able to make the potty. You guide them. You are kind to them. It's repetitive. You're teaching yourself a new habit. But as you develop that habit and practice consistently with your higher power, all experiences from family to career will fall into place. In fact, Marianne Williamson said, Ego says, once everything falls into place, I will feel peace. And Spirit says, once you find peace, everything will fall into place. I hope that you have found today's episode helpful. I am so grateful that you have given me your time, and I thank you again, every one of you. I want to remind you that we can connect at Facebook, which is www.facebook.com/callingtherealYOU. You can find me at callingtherealYOU.com. And I want to thank a few people here before we end. And that is, I want to thank my infinite source of creation. I want to thank Eric Horton, my husband, my best friend and business partner, for with him it wouldn't be possible. This would not be possible. He believes in me so much, and I'm so grateful for him. I want to thank you, Reverend Patricia Brooks, for you and your platform and your belief in calling the real you. For you, if it weren't for you, this would not be possible. I want to thank our sponsors, Lisa Imperante of Lux Salon and Spa, Yolanta Bremer of Yola Portraits, Karen D. Felice of Karen D. Felice Designs, and Jim Oliver of JimOliverMusic.com. Have a wonderful week, everyone, and remember, call the real you out. Hear your calling. Come out. We need you. Until next week, everyone. Bye-bye.